Today, we're going to talk about cleaning up one of the world's most important manufacturing sectors. We're headed to Bangladesh to check out a solar solution that could totally change the future of the garment industry.
Yeah, believe it or not, the clothes we all wear every single day, they're at the heart of this huge industrial challenge. See, making them takes a ton of heat, and usually that heat comes from burning fossil fuels. So let's really unpack this energy problem.
Okay, so to really get why a new solution is so desperately needed, we first have to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of the energy challenge facing Bangladesh's #1 industry.
So, Bangladesh's ready-made garment sector, or RMG as it's known, is an absolute giant. These factories are churning out clothes for brands all over the globe. But to do that, for things like dyeing fabrics, washing them, they need massive amounts of hot water and process heat. And traditionally, that has meant one thing: a serious dependence on expensive fossil fuels and a gigantic electricity bill. It's costly, and it's a huge source of carbon emissions.
So you have this huge industry. It's facing rising costs and pressure from all over the world to get more sustainable. So what do? Well, that brings us to a really elegant solar-powered solution. This right here is the core idea, and it's a total game changer. Instead of burning something to create heat, what if you could just capture and concentrate the heat that's already all around you? I mean, combining the powerful, free energy from the sun with the ambient heat that is literally just in the air. And here it is. This is the technology that makes it all possible: the Solar Thermal Plus Heat Pump System. It's a name that perfectly describes what it does, so let's dig into how it actually works. Now, I know that might sound a little complex, but the process is actually incredibly clever and pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at how all the pieces fit together.
You can think of the whole system as a simple flow. On one end, you've got sunlight coming in. In the middle, there's a process that upgrades that energy, and then on the other end, you get exactly what the factories need: industrial-grade heat and hot water.
So the really crucial word here is upgrade. The system isn't just capturing heat, it's concentrating it. It takes this low-temperature heat from the sun and the air, which on its own is not nearly hot enough for industrial use, and it upgrades it into high-grade energy that can actually power a factory. Let's break it down into 3 simple steps. First, collect. Sunlight hits the solar collectors, and they just soak up that raw solar heat. Second, upgrade. The heat pump gets to work. It uses just a little bit of electricity to boost both the captured solar heat and the ambient heat from the air. And finally, deliver. That concentrated, high-grade heat is delivered for all the factory's needs. Simple as that. Okay, so we know how it works, but why is this technology such a big deal? Well, the payoff is just enormous, and it hits on 3 really critical fronts: efficiency, cost, and emissions. Let's start with the efficiency battle. A conventional boiler is always going to be less than 100% efficient. You always lose some energy. This system, though, it's a completely different animal. It has what's called a coefficient of performance, or COP, of 5 to 7. Think about that for a second. For every 1 unit of electricity you put in, you get 5 to 7 units of heat energy out. It's not magic. It's just an unbelievably efficient way of moving and concentrating heat that already exists. And that incredible efficiency translates directly into savings. We're talking about a potential 60% reduction in energy costs. For an industry with really tight margins, a number like that is nothing short of revolutionary. It's a massive financial incentive to go green. And here's another amazing figure. The system is so effective that it can convert up to 90% of the solar energy that hits the collectors into usable heat for the factory. It's just an astonishingly efficient way to harness the power of the sun.
And finally, the ultimate goal. When you replace burning fossil fuels with a system that just moves heat around using a little bit of electricity, ideally from a renewable source, by the way, you get to near-zero emissions. This is how the garment industry can dramatically, seriously shrink its carbon footprint.
This is bigger than just one factory or one piece of technology. This is about shaping a whole new, sustainable future, one that could be proudly made in Bangladesh.
And this solution isn't just a good idea floating around. It aligns perfectly with national policy. It helps Bangladesh meet the green energy goals set by its own Sustainable and Renewable Energy Development Authority, which is called SREDA. And just as importantly, it helps these factories meet the increasingly tough sustainability standards demanded by the international brands who are their biggest customers. And this quote really gets to the heart of the opportunity here.
The vision isn't just for Bangladesh to use this technology, but to innovate on it, to improve it, and to manufacture it. To become a leader not just in making garments, but in creating the green technology that powers the future of manufacturing itself.
So we'll leave you with this question. What if made in Bangladesh no longer just meant the clothes we wear, but also the green technology that powers the future of industry? A simple system of solar panels and pumps could redefine the economic future of an entire nation. And that, well, that could change everything.